Hi, this is Lou Gramm, and you're listening to the Joe Cook Program. Watch out for Joe. He digs deep.
Welcome back to the Joe Cook Program on Cruisin' 92.1 WVLC. In the 70s and 80s, the band Foreigner dominated the airwaves with songs like Cold as Ice, Hot Blooded, Double Vision, Waiting for a Girl Like You, and of course their international #1 hit, I Wanna Know What Love Is. Well, after leaving the group in 2003, Foreigner's lead singer Lou Gramm has went on to form the Lou Gramm Band, and they'll be playing at the Atlantic City Hilton on Saturday, September 29th. Joining me on the phone is Lou Gramm. Lou, thanks for taking the time to be on the show tonight.
My pleasure, Joe.
So, Lou, I want to talk to you a little about the years you spent with Foreigner, but first, can you tell me a bit about your current band, the Lou Gramm Band?
Yes, in that band are my two brothers, my older brother Ben playing drums, my younger brother Richard playing bass and guitar. Don Mancuso is also in the band. He plays guitar and bass. He was with me in the Black Sheep Band. And on keyboard is Andy Knoll, and he has played with both Don Mancuso and my brother Dick in various bands, and he's a great player.
Now, after all these years, what inspired you and your brothers to work together musically, and how's the experience been for the three of you?
Well, to be honest, over the years, I've played with one brother or the other, but as it turned out, for one reason or another, never the three of us. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we lost our parents in the course of a year. And when my dad was on his deathbed, we promised he and my mom that the brothers would play together. And it's something that we've wanted to do for a long time, but for one reason or another, it just never happened. And I was already, I'd given my notice to Foreigner, and I was in the process of putting my band together, and it was the right time for the brothers to be together.
Was that a hard decision, leaving Foreigner after all those years? I know you'd left once before and rejoined the band.
I'd left once before because basically Mick would continue to take 1 year after the other off without a reason, and really caught the rest of us without enough money to survive. And I just thought that was not on. And when there was this time when we were doing nothing, I decided that during that time I would do a solo album. Well, I did my first solo album and was prepared to do a little 3 or 4 month tour to support the album, when suddenly good old Mick shows up ready to work on a new album. What a guy. I said, look, I can't do it. I got to support my album now. I gotta go do interviews. I gotta do some shows, and he says, well, make your choice, and I did. I'll pick my stuff every time. And again, in the early 2000s, there was just a lot of tension, and he had other agendas that he was putting before the band, and I just, here we were. I mean, I had just come back from a brain tumor, and was ready to go, and again, he's doing things that take up time that we didn't have, and acting as if there was no agenda for this band. And I either want to be busy doing Foreigner, or I don't want to sit around doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just turned in my notice again and went back to work on my stuff.
Do the two of you keep in touch at all today?
There's really no reason to. It did not end on a good note.
Understood. Now, you'd mentioned earlier that you were in a band called Black Sheep in the early to mid '70s, and you guys were actually signed with Capitol Records, right?
First, Chrysalis Records. We were the first American act on Chrysalis Records. We had a single out, and we were supposed to work on an album, but as it turned out, Chrysalis had next to nobody in their American offices. They had one office in New York, and that was their only American office, so it was kind of pointless to count on them for any help, and then we signed with Capitol within a year later, and had two albums out.
And then you guys were pretty up and coming, and then I guess from what I understand, a truck accident kind of threw a big monkey wrench into things.
It sure did, yeah. We had just played with Kiss in the Orpheum in Boston, and they're tough guys to open for because they have their own built-in audience that follows them everywhere. But funny enough, we played our set and got a standing ovation. And on the way home from that show, our truck hit a patch of ice and slid off the road and rolled. No one was hurt, but the equipment was destroyed. In the meantime, Kiss had offered us the opening slot on their whole North American tour, and we were without equipment. We notified our insurance company about how important it was to settle this right away, and 4 months later they settled. And of course we lost the tour, and basically were dropped by Capitol.
Now then, it wasn't long after that then that you received a phone call from Mick Jones asking you to audition for what would become Foreigner then, correct?
That's right, and I was really flattered, and I told him so, and told him no thank you.
Oh, you initially turned it down? Absolutely.
I had a lot of belief in what Black Sheep was doing, and I wasn't ready to throw in the towel.
So what made you end up changing your mind?
The guys in Black Sheep said, who knows if we're ever going to get our equipment? Who knows if we'll ever get a record deal? You've got something on the table here. We wish you would go for it. At least one of us could make it.
Now, how did you and Mick cross each other's paths for him to put the call out to you?
Spooky Tooth played in Rochester. Spooky Tooth was on A&M Records, and Black Sheep's manager was an A&M representative. That's Jim Taylor.
Oh, okay. And so...
So when Spooky Tooth came to town, Jim Taylor, who was Black Sheep's manager and an A&M record rep, made sure that after the show we got backstage to meet those guys, and we left a album with Mick.
So then you ended up obviously spending a number of years with Foreigner and had a lot of success.
About 27.
Had an awful lot of success, and then had two successful solo albums in the late 80s. Then you left the group and formed a band called Shadow King, correct? And
yeah.
Then you guys only had one album, then disbanded. Well, what happened there?
It wasn't really working. We kind of knew that there was a lot of politics going on in Atlantic. A lot of people in higher up places were leaving the company, and I just didn't. I felt, and everybody in the band felt that we weren't getting the representation and the push that was needed to get the band started, and it just without help from your own record company, you might as well not have bothered.
So after Shadow King, you guys reunited Foreigner in I guess it was '92, and you continued to tour with them for another decade. But 10 years ago, you'd mentioned earlier about the brain tumor that you'd had. Now, it was benign, but from what I understand, very serious nonetheless. Would you mind sharing about this experience and how it's affected your life?
Yeah, definitely. Sometime in very early '97, I would wake up in the morning and have terrific, incredibly painful headaches. And I was clean and sober, so I knew it was not a hangover. I also was having long and short-term memory lapses, and I just knew something was wrong. And I had an MRI, which showed up a tumor about the size of a it was about the size of a small peach. And it had tentacles that were wrapped around the pituitary and around my optic nerve. And I was given a number of doctors to call and go see with my MRIs. And I was making trips all over the Northeast. And nobody, not one of the doctors, was confident of a successful result. And it left me very scared. And I happened to be watching 2020 one night when I saw a segment on Dr. Richard Black at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, and how he was the purveyor of laser surgery that was able to operate on previously inoperable brain tumors. And the segment was extremely interesting. And at the end of the segment, it gave his office number in Boston, which I called as soon as I could the next morning. Had a long talk with his private secretary, and she told me that there was a cancel. This was on. I saw the program on Monday. I called her Tuesday morning. She said there was a cancellation Thursday, and that I should pack my bags and my MRI and come up as soon as I could.
That's incredible.
So Thursday morning at 5:30, I was getting wheeled into the operating room.
Wow.
19-hour surgery.
19 hours?
Yep.
And how was the recovery from that?
Long, very long, and very life-changing.
On your website, you're quoted as saying, "It's been a daily struggle getting back to normal, but my faith in Jesus Christ is strong, and in the end, it got me through those tough times and continues to do so." Would you mind sharing how your faith inspires you now in your daily life and also in your music?
Well, first of all, I gave my heart to the Lord in '92. 1992, and my operation was in 1997, and you know, the prognosis from the other doctors was not good. So I really had only my faith in God to comfort me, and you know, I was praying very hard when they were wheeling me down the hallway to the operating room, and you know, I definitely just said, if Lord, if you want me in heaven, please take me. You know, but I do have children, and I have work to do to help them, and work to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And He allowed me to live, although my recovery, you know, I think I take about 9 prescription pills and 2 shots every day. And I have my adrenal glands are non-functioning.
Mm-hmm.
My pituitary glands are functioning at about 30%. And you know, I've gained a lot of weight because my body doesn't function the way it should anymore. And you know, it's just a struggle to. I developed sleep apnea. It's just a struggle to sometimes to just go on and on and on. You know,
just a lot of the things you just take for granted. Little things that seem like little things just becoming a lot more difficult.
Yeah, a lot more difficult. You know, if I forget my pills once, I feel the impact of it. If I forget a shot, you know, within a day, I'm feeling so weird that I know exactly what happened. I forgot my shot. The sleep apnea has put me to sleep driving my truck down a 2-lane road. 1 minute I'm driving, the next minute I cross over in the oncoming lane and go into a thicket of woods. Sleep. And the thing that wakes me up is when I hit a tree stump. And when I wake up, I'm in the air. You know, it's just crazy stuff that you know, I've had to learn to live with, and it doesn't subside. I just have to be aware of my limitations. You know, in about every 3 or 4 songs when I'm on stage, during the guitar solo, I'm behind the drums taking oxygen. My voice has not changed at all, but just having the ability to get the air, to put the power in the voice, has become a chore.
Mm-hmm. And you've been, I guess you've been pretty active on stage, since your recovery, with Foreigner and then with the Lou Gramm Band.
Yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, we had shows booked the year that I had my operation. So 5 months after a major surgery like that, I was on the road.
Wow, that's
unbelievable.
That is unbelievable,
and I'm sure
probably not doctor recommended either.
Not doctor recommended. I don't remember anything about that tour at all.
Well, it was just I did see on your website, it was just recently announced that you've just signed a deal with Spectra Records.
That's correct.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I guess there's a new album in the works then. Can you tell me a little about that?
Well, the album is a Christian album, and I vowed that if I got through this, that I would write and record an album about my faith and what it means to me. And mind you, it ended up being 6 or 7 years later, but it's almost done now, and Spectra Records is a fine label, and I'm excited about performing it live and seeing it in the record stores.
Have you played any of this material live yet?
Nope. I can't wait to, though.
And also, it says that I saw that Rhino Records is going to be releasing a best of. Now, is this going to be a best of your earlier solo work?
Yes.
Any word on a release date for either of these projects?
The Christian album, I've heard that it will be early next year, and the Rhino record was supposed to be this fall. Now, there's not much left of fall.
Yeah.
and I haven't heard anything about it other than that it was supposed to be this fall, and there's been no new word of it. So I almost suspect that like everything else, that'll be pushed back too.
So, Lou, for those fans who may want to come check out your show at the Atlantic City Hilton on Saturday, September 29th, what can they expect from a night with the Lou Gramm Band?
There'll be all the Foreigner songs that I was involved in writing, and that's a pretty big majority, and the hits from my solo albums. And sometimes we throw an old Beatles song in there.
You can't go wrong with that.
No.
Do you have
a very energetic band. The players are terrific, and if there's something that we do have all night, it's a lot of fun. Have you run into any as far as legal issues, as far as with any of the Foreigner music, being able to use it? Yes. Mick let it be known through his attorney right off the bat that if I do any songs like I Want to Know What Love Is or Urgent that were just written by him, that there will be immediately a lawsuit pending. Nice guy. That's my buddy Mick.
Well, fortunately, you wrote most of it, right?
Yeah, I don't need those songs anyway.
So, but what's it like for you to know that your music has been such an important part of the lives of so many people?
It's unbelievable. It's such an honor, and you can't believe what it means when someone will tell you that a certain song got them through a tough time, or a certain song gave them the courage to act on something that they wouldn't have normally had the courage to do. I get a lot of that in person and on our website. It's really can't quite put it into words, but it's really wonderful.
Is there any final message you'd just like to share with any of your fans that are listening to the show tonight?
Only that I'm still having fun doing what I'm doing. There's been some pretty serious bumps in the road along the way, but that only makes me love it and appreciate it more. So come on out and have a ball, because that's what we're going to do.
My guest has been Lou Gramm, former lead singer of Foreigner, and his band, the Lou Gramm Band, will be appearing at the Atlantic City Hilton on Saturday, September 29th at 8 p.m. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster, and I'm planning on being there myself, so get your tickets now and don't miss this show. Lou, thanks so much for taking the time to be on tonight.
My pleasure, sir. Take care now, Joe.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.